What's going on, guys? Today I'm back with another Hat format replay review for you guys. If you're interested in sending in your Hat format replays, you can go down to the video description and find all the information on how to go about sending those in. Anyways, the matchup I have for you today, we have Jerus, who is going to be on Inzektor, versus Soggy Slopster, who is going to be on Mermail. Hopefully this will be a good match. I know a lot of people really enjoy both of these decks, so hopefully it will be interesting, but the only way to know for sure is to check it out. So without further ado, let's get started. Here, it looks like Soggy is going to win the rock, paper, scissors and get to start this one out. Opening hands, we see Max C, Insect Imitation, Forbidden Lance, Fiendish Chain, and Max C. And on the other side, we see Title, Teus, Aqua Spirit, Lead, and Infantry. So definitely a very solid hand here starting out from Soggy, though we do know that Jerus has these Max Cs, which are very good into a, any sort of deck that's going to be special summoning, especially in a situation with Teus. But here Soggy will get a draw for turn, getting a copy of Vanity's Emptiness, which could actually be pretty solid into this matchup. Let's see. Here we are going to see the Teus activating, discarding the copy of Lead, and Jerus is going to chain that copy of Max C, drawing into a copy of Centipede, and then from here we are going to see the Teus activating, adding a copy of Pike. From here, we'll see Pike summon, discarding the copy of Title and grabbing a copy of Undyne before setting that Emptiness and passing it over to Jerus. Here, Jerus is going to get a copy of Inzektor Hopper, and I'll quickly go over some of these ones that are a little less common. Basically, Hopper has the effect that once per turn, you can equip an Inzektor monster from your hand or graveyard to this card. While this card is equipped to a monster, that monster's level is increased by 4, and while this card's equipped to a monster, you can send this card to the graveyard. The monster it was equipped to can attack directly this turn, my apologies, and other monsters can attack the turn you activate this effect. Anyways, here it looks like they are just going to go to battle phase and run over the copy of Pike before setting to back row and over to Soggy, who gets another copy of Teus. Here we are going to see the Teus activating, discarding the copy of Infantry, and the second Max C is going to be dropped here. So here the Teus is summoned, Jerus draws into a copy of Armageddon Knight, and then we will see the Teus adding a copy of Pike and the Infantry popping that Hopper. After that, Soggy is going to normal summon the copy of Undyne, and Jerus is thinking here, and they say it's good, and here we are going to see the Undyne sending a copy of Dragoons for cost, adding a copy of Controller, and then Dragoons adding the copy of Mooling Glacia, which they do have 5, very surprising, and so here they can go and drop the copy of Mooling Glacia, attempting to use the effect to make Jerus discard 2 cards, but we are going to see the Fiendish Chain activated on that, and as well, yeah, they are reminding them that Jerus needs to draw because they did drop Max C, and when this is specialed, obviously. So here getting a copy of Threatening Roar. After that, we are going to see Soggy go to battle phase and swing in for quite a lot of damage here, and let's see, going and main phase 2 and just passing. And so from here, it looks like it's actually a little interesting that they didn't overlay into anything. Yes, they were in under Max C, but at the same time, if you know anything about Inzektor, it gains a lot more advantage if your opponent has more cards. So there's almost a reason to kind of downplay so they can't pop off as much, but at the same time, the best option would have been like a Draco Sack, and even then that would give them more things to pop. So maybe there really just isn't a good, rank 7 that they can make or anything like that, which is very unfortunate. Anyways, I believe I accidentally hit fast forward a little bit there, but it looks like what happened is the Centipede was normal summon, Foolish Burial was activated, sending a copy of Hornet, and from here, it looks like Centipede's going to activate its effect to equip an Inzektor from hand or graveyard, equipping the copy of Hornet, and then after that, just going to battle phase and running over this copy of Abyssteus. The Hornet also is going to say that the monster's level is increased by 3, also it gains attack and defense equal to this card's attack and defense. So basically, this is gaining 500 attack here. So after that, we are going to see the Teus get destroyed, main phase 2, Hornet activates its effect, sending itself to graveyard, and then being able to pop a card here. It looks like they're going to pop the copy of Teus, and then Centipede will trigger because an equip card became unequipped to it, to be able to add an Inzektor card here, going and adding a copy of Ladybug. If you're wondering why they didn't search something like a copy of Dragonfly, which is at 1 in this format, it's because they do have this copy of Insect Imitation, which says tribute 1 monster, special summon 1 insect monster from your deck whose level is 1 higher than the tributed monster had on the field. So a lot of times if you search Ladybug here, you can summon Ladybug, use Insect Imitation, get rid of it, and summon the copy of Dragonfly from deck. And at that point, Ladybug has a really strong effect with the Dragonfly, so you're actually able to kind of full combo from there. So that's why I at least would assume that they went for that over anything else. Anyways, here it looks like they are going to set that Threatening Roar and then pass it over to Soggy, who I believe just drew another copy of Pike there, if I'm not mistaken. And here it looks like they're going to normal summon Controller, overlay into a copy of Alucard, and then from here, Alucard's going to detach, going after the back row, which is going to be the Threatening Roar, which is going to be chained here. So now Soggy will not be able to attack this turn. And from here, we're going to see Aqua Spirit special summon by banishing that copy of Teus and passing it over to Jerus, who draws a copy of Mathematician from turn. Here, Aqua Spirit is going to switch the Centipede to defense, and it won't be able to switch its battle position because Aqua Spirit says once per turn during your opponent's standby phase, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls, change that monster's battle position, and if you do, it cannot change its battle position for the rest of this turn. After that, we are going to see the Centipede activate, equipping the Hornet. Hornet is going to send itself to pop the set copy of Emptiness, which surprisingly didn't come up this whole time. And then here, the Centipede is going to add a copy of Gigamantis from deck to hand. Here, we'll see the Ladybug summoned using its effect, which can equip the Hornet, and the Hornet is going to be sent to pop the copy of Mooling Glacia, which now is going to skip Soggy's next battle phase, which is very strong. And after that, we do see the Insect Imitation on the copy of Ladybug, summoning a copy of Dragonfly. And then from here, they're thinking they're going to use Dragonfly to equip the copy of Hornet, and then use the copy of Gigamantis in hand, which is going to equip itself to a monster, one of the very unique Inzektor cards that equip by itself, not with the actual effect of the monster it's equipping to. And this one also has another good effect. It says, target 1 Inzektor monster you control, equip this card from your hand to that target. While this card is equipped to a monster, that monster's original attack becomes 2400. If this card is sent to the graveyard while equipped to a monster, you can target an Inzektor monster in your graveyard, except Gigamantis, special summon that target, and you can only use that effect once per turn. So this is definitely going to be a strong turn. Now we are going to see the Hornet activating to pop the copy of Gigamantis, and here the Gigamantis can trigger as well as the Dragonfly that was equipped. So we will see Dragonfly activating, which basically says that if an equipped card or cards is sent to the graveyard while equipped to this card, you can special summon an Inzektor monster from your deck. So here equipping or special summoning a copy of Centipede, and then the Mantis is going to, okay, so I guess this is something else I should point out. That is not, it's a once per turn for the special summoning ability. So they equipped the Mantis to the Dragonfly as well as the Hornet was equipped, I believe that was to the Dragonfly, if I'm not mistaken. So they used it, popped both equipped, so this will trigger twice, and then obviously we'll see the Mantis and stuff like that. So here the Mantis is going to bring back the copy of Hopper from graveyard. So after that, the Hopper can activate to equip the Hornet, and then Hornet is going to pop the copy of Alucard, and after that, we will see the Centipede activate, the newly summoned one, equipping a copy of Ladybug, and this one has a really cool equipped effect that says, while this card's equipped to a monster, that monster's level is increased by 2. Also, it gains attack and defense equal to this card's attack and defense, and then while this card's equipped to a monster, monster, you can send it to the graveyard, target one face-up monster you control, and increase its level by 1 or 2. So here, sending the Ladybug to increase the Centipede, and then the Centipede it was equipped to will add a copy of Zecalibur. Zecalibur says equip only to an Inzektor monster, it gains 800 attack and defense, and if this face-up card on the field is sent to the graveyard, target an Inzektor monster in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. So here we are then going to see the other Centipede that was summoned off of the Dragonfly equipping that copy of Ladybug, and then the Ladybug is going to send itself, increasing the Dragonfly's level by 2, so now both of these are level 5s. After that, we'll see the Centipede trigger, getting another copy of Ladybug there, and then here we will see the 2 5s overlaid into a Shark Fortress. We will then see the Zecalibur equipped to the Hopper, and from here, we'll see the Shark Fortress using its effect that says your opponent cannot target monsters for attacks except this one, and that once per turn, you can detach an Xyz material from this card, target a face-up monster you control. It can make a second attack during each battle phase, so here the Hopper will be able to attack twice, and Soggy Slobster has seen enough, and they are going to scoop it up. That was definitely a lot of damage, and a very powerful turn for Jerus here, but this time Soggy will get to start out yet again. Opening hands, we see Call the Haunted, Duality, Fiendish Chain, Gigamantis, and MST. And on the other side, we see MST, Torrential, Pike, Undyne, and Controller. A little unfortunate to open the Controller, but you know when you are playing multiple little, like, soft bricks in a sense, you are bound to see them. And here, Soggy will get a draw for turn, getting, unfortunately, another copy of Undyne. Here we are going to see it summon, sending a copy of Dragoons, adding a copy of Controller, and adding the Mooling Glacia here. Kind of awkward to add the Mooling Glacia given their hand at the moment, but maybe they're assuming that, you know, if they're able to get the Undyne off, send another, this goes to grave, and then if they trigger any other type of effect, maybe they'll get another engrave. I'm not entirely sure here, but here setting 2 over to Jerus, who gets a copy of Breakthrough Skill, we are going to see Duality activated, revealing a copy of Ladybug, Breakthrough, and Armageddon Knight. Here, Jerus is going to add that copy of Armageddon Knight, which is a very solid starter for them in this position, normal summoning the Armageddon Knight, using the effect and sending Dragonfly, before going to battle phase and running over the copy of Undyne. Here we are going to see Jerus set 3, holding the copy of MST in case Soggy Slobster does have a copy of Sphere set. And here we're going to see Soggy activate that MST, popping the Call of the Haunted, which is really unfortunate given that Jerus definitely needed that here. And here Soggy will draw for turn, getting another copy of MST. So definitely not bad. Normal summoning the Pike, discarding the Undyne, and Jerus is going to activate the Breakthrough Skill on that. And so from there, Soggy will go to battle phase, running over the Armageddon Knight, setting the MST back over to Jerus, who gets a copy of Mathematician. Here they're going to normal summon Mathematician, sending the Hornet and passing turn. Here Soggy gets a copy of Teus for turn, which is solid, and instead they are just going to normal summon the copy of Controller, go to battle phase, and Abyss Pike over the Mathematician, which will be able to use its effect since it was destroyed by battle, drawing a card, and Jerus gets a copy of Insect Imitation before the Genix Controller can attack in and do some damage. Main phase 2 going for a copy of Gungnir. And are they going to use the effect? They are going to use the effect, pitching the copy of Teus to try to pop the set, which is the Fiendish Chain, which is going to be chained to that. And after that, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They do have 5. So we will see the Mooling Glacia going and activating here. And discarding the Gigamantis and the Insect Imitation. Very unfortunate for Jerus here, but they are going to top deck another Mathematician, which is solid, summoning it using the effect and sending a Ladybug, and passing turn over to Soggy, who gets a copy of Sphere, and summoning the Controller. This is going to get out of hand very quickly, going to battle phase, running over the Mathematician. Mathematician is going to draw Jerus a card here, getting a Hopper, and then attacking in with Controller, and then setting that copy of Sphere, and going main phase 2, synchroing into a copy of Leo. Here, Jerus gets a Maxi. It's not looking great for them. Normal summoning Hopper, using the effect, equipping the Hornet. Hornet is going to, oh, maybe nothing. We are going to see the MST on the Hornet. So it looks like Jerus is going to go to end phase. Soggy will activate that copy of Sphere. So technically this is going to be, I'm assuming, in their main phase 2, actually, or main phase 1, I guess, because they didn't go to battle phase. We are going to see the MST there, so the Sphere just isn't going to trigger, and Jerus is just going to pass. Here Soggy gets a copy of Megalo, which it looks like they're just going to battle phase, and that was a very quick game number 2. Jerus really couldn't do anything there. So moving on into game number 3, Jerus will get to start this one out. Opening hands, we see Breakthrough Skill, Call the Haunted, Max C, Centipede, and Call the Haunted. And on the other side, we see Crow, Undyne, Teus, Pike, and Undyne. So very good hand here from Soggy, honestly. And on Jerus' side, definitely not bad either. They will get a draw for turn, getting a copy of MST, so a little slow, but having the Max C for what Soggy has is also very strong. Here, Soggy draws a copy of DD Crow, starting their turn out with the copy of Undyne, which is going to send a Dragoons, adding a copy of Controller, and then from there, the copy of Dragoons is going to add what was that? The copy of Marksman there. So, trying to play through some of the back row for sure is definitely needed. Here we are going to see the Teus activate, discarding the Marksman. Maxie's going to be chained to that. The Teus then gets summoned. Jerus gets a copy of Mantis. And here we are going to see the Marksman go after the copy of Call of the Haunted, which is going to be chained, summoning out the Max C, and then the copy of Gund is going to be activated here, and the Marksman has to specifically pop sets. So since the Call of the Haunted was chained there and is now face up, this won't be destroyed, just for anyone wondering, and there's not really a reason to waste a DD Crow on that either. Anyways, going to battle phase, Soggy is going to run over the copy of Max C, and then attack in for a little bit of damage with the copy of Teus, before passing it over to Jerus, who gets a copy of Dragonfly for turn. From here, it looks like Jerus is going to take a second to think, summoning the Centipede using the effect and equipping the copy of Dragonfly, then chaining MST to pop the Dragonfly so that they can trigger the Centipede. The Centipede will then be able to add a copy of Hornet, and then we will see the Call the Haunted on the Dragonfly, and we are going to see the DD Crow banishing the copy of Dragonfly, and then Jerus can go and activate the Mantis and hand equipping to the Centipede, making its attack 2400 and running over that copy of Teus. Going to main phase 2 and then passing. Here we will see Soggy draw for turn. I believe that was a copy of Lyn they drew, and from here they're going to normal summon the Pike, discarding the copy of Gund, but we will see Breakthrough on that, which doesn't necessarily matter here. We will see the Gund activating and summoning a copy of Teus, and then switching the Undyne to defense over to Jerus, who gets a copy of Mathematician. Here they're going to summon the Mathematician, sending a copy of Centipede, going and activating the copy of Centipede to equip the copy of Hornet here that they had in hand, using the Hornet, sending it to graveyard, and popping the copy of Gigamantis. Here we will see Centipede triggering twice, and the Mantis bringing back the copy of Centipede that was in graveyard, getting a Excalibur and a copy of Ladybug. I'm wondering if Soggy is going to be using the DD Crow potentially on the copy of Hornet to prevent some of this, but let's see. Here going for a copy of Leviair and using the effect to get back the copy of Dragonfly. So here using the Dragonfly to get the Hornet, and we are going to see the DD Crow activated here. And so the thing with the copy of Dragonfly or the Inzektors in general is they don't target for their equipping. It just says once per turn, equip one Inzektor monster from your hand or graveyard to this card. So even though the Crow is going to banish the Hornet, this doesn't target, so they can just equip this copy of Mantis instead. And so here it looks like equipping everything to the Dragonfly, including that Excalibur, going to battle phase, running over the Teus, Leviair over the Pike, and the Centipede over the Undyne. Back over to Soggy, who now gets a copy of Lead, and let's see what they're going to choose to do here. Summoning a copy of Undyne, using the effect, sending a copy of Title, and then adding a controller. After that, using the Title, banishing 2 to summon itself out, and going to battle phase, running over the copy of Leviair, making sure they can't get that copy of Hornet back. Going main phase 2 over to Jerus, who now gets a Centipede. Here using the Dragonfly and equipping a copy of Ladybug. Ladybug is going to use its effect to increase the level of Centipede, and then Dragonfly is going to trigger to summon a copy of Hopper. After that, Hopper's going to equip Ladybug, Ladybug effect increasing by 1, and Soggy Slobster has seen enough. They know that this is getting out of control, or maybe they just didn't want to deal with it, but honestly, it was getting very out of control. So Jerus is going to take this one. Soggy Slobster does scoop it up there, and a very interesting game for sure. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like on this video, comment any questions or videos you want to see in the future, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notified anytime I put a new video out, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to go down to the video description to find out how you can send in your hat format replays, whether you won or lost. If you thought the deck you or your opponent was playing was pretty cool, feel free to send that in. I'm sure a lot of people would love to see it. But anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video.